released to the media. It was a risky move, but the squad felt that they had little choice. They had to arrest the station strangler before he struck again. Sadly, this would not be the case, as young Elroy van Roy would be found murdered in March of that year. Elroy's murder, though, would add another piece to the puzzle, as for the first time in the series, an eyewitness came forward claiming to have seen the station strangler with Van Roy on the day of his death. She described a man with a dark complexion and an afro-like hairstyle. The man had a scar on his cheek. An identikit was developed and released along with Pistorius' profile. On the 12th of April 1994, a nurse at a psychiatric facility picked up a newspaper and looked at the identikit on the front page. She then read the profile of the serial killer being hunted. She immediately contacted police, stating that she believed one of the patients in the clinic she worked at was the station strangler. Norman Simons, later known as Afzal Sarfaraz Norman Simons, after his temporary conversion to the Muslim faith, was born on the 12th of January 1967 in Greenpoint, Cape Town. Simons was the product of an interracial relationship, which in South Africa at the time was illegal. His childhood was tumultuous, and as a toddler, he was sent to live with his grandparents in the Eastern Cape, where he would be raised in their Xhosa traditions. He would be passed between relatives in the Eastern Cape, Johannesburg, and Durban throughout most of his childhood, before eventually returning to Cape Town as a teenager to live with his mother, her new husband, and his older brother. Simons fit the profile like a glove. He was unmarried, a teacher, and still lived with his family. His friends stated that he was homosexual. Simons was highly intelligent, spoke 7 languages, listened to classical music, and dressed impeccably. He volunteered in an organization that helped ex-convicts rehabilitate into society. He claimed to have been sexually abused by his older brother when he was a teenager. After the telephone call from the psychiatric nurse, Simons was brought in for questioning. Instead of answering questions, Simons offered to write his life story for police. They gave him a pen and paper, and he proceeded to start writing. When he was done, it was late at night, and as he was not officially under arrest yet, courts asked Simons if he'd like to sleep in one of their caravans for the night. He agreed and was placed under armed watch. On the morning of the 13th of April 1994, Simons was arrested in connection with all the murders except Elroy van Roy's, as police claimed to still be building a case against him for that murder. During his initial few days in custody, Simons confessed that he had been killing children since 1986. He would later retract this confession, only to confess again and offer to show police where he had dumped all of the bodies. To ensure that there was no chance of a defense lawyer claiming that police had shown him where the scenes were, an officer with no knowledge of the case was brought in to accompany Simons as he pointed out the scenes. The journey through Mitchell's Plain was undertaken